with a fuel scarcity and everything. No, the timing was terrible. Even lawmakers know it.
In a display of solidarity and determination, members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, have staged a protest over hike in the electricity tariff in Nigeria. The NLC and the TUC shut down offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, and distribution companies, DISCOs, nationwide, to press home their demands for the reversal of electricity tariff hike. The demonstrations brought activities in the offices to a standstill as workers were stranded. This is yet another increase, that is electricity. But for that sector to move on, analysts say like this move is a step in the right direction, that we cannot continue the way it used to be, that government is subsidizing this thing heavily.
Again, the timing is wrong. There are many people in government who would have expected this to happen maybe after 2 years.
2 years?
Yes. When you have cost...
You have to invest in that sector.
Hold on.
Okay, it's allowed.
When you have caused real improvement to happen in the sector, there's no improvement that we are talking about here. In many states of our country, 90% of the people, electricity consumers, in many states, don't have access to prepaid meters. They are made to grapple with estimated billing, which amounts to a huge fraud.
Big one.
That's that. At this time, our capacity to generate is affected largely by gas constraints. The kind of gas constraints that we didn't even have some years before now. So when you have a situation in which more than 97% of your electricity generating infrastructure are gas fired and you have gas constraints, that is why you see from time to time system failures happening, because you must be able to have gas supply at optimum level.
Yeah? We produce gas.
Yes, but there are many things. You know, we can talk about why we have gas constraints. It's a different. Sometimes the boys in the Niger Delta will break the pipelines because they are looking for crude. And once you break the pipeline, the gas pipeline, you merely wasted your time because you cannot pipe the gas that you've broken, and you have disrupted supply to the power plants. The power plants are by nature located far away from the source of gas. You can imagine the source of gas is Niger Delta, but we have power plants even in the north central Nigeria, Geregu and the rest of them, Papalanto, Omotosho 1 and 2. You know, they are far away from the Niger Delta, and people break pipelines. How does gas get to them? Sometimes they cause disruptions from forecados. Gas does not get to power stations. So already we have, and many gas companies prefer now to even sell to foreign clients. We are looking for a way to discourage them from simply producing for foreign clients.
We've been owing the gas.
We have problems with that. They are owing the gas companies. You know, as I've said before, the DISCOs are the people that we all abuse. Whereas that relay from generation to transmission to distribution, they all have problems. But because the DISCOs are the face of the industry,
you can see.
They are the ones that we go. Yes,
last retailer.
Yes, we go and fight them. People say all kinds of things.
And
they are the worst.
And transmission.
They are the weakest link. They are this. I hear they are the weakest link. I know that people say that are ignorant.
Transmission is.
I just. You see, I've talked about it many times. This I just want to keep looking at people. If we had succeeded in improving that sector, improve generating capacity,
Yes.
improve distribution
Don't
capacity.
depend on one national grid.
The distribution companies need tremendous investment in that sector. Look at even some of them that are being acquired now by AMCON. The transmission leg, we have issues. So if my own argument is that if we had been able to improve electricity access for our people to the point that they are impressed, honestly, when you bring the matter of increase in tariff, it won't get the kind of pushback that it is getting now. Because even some of the high-end users that you are targeting, that you said this is going to affect them, you are talking about people who get 20 hours, people who get 20 hours of electricity. But where are they? Where are those people who get 20 hours? Some of the people that you listed in that band A, they are barely getting 4 hours in a day. Yet, you want them to pay so much. You want them to pay something higher than even the United States average.
Actually, just 1 million or 2 million of them.
Huh?
I think 1 million of them or so.
So yes, but they too are pushing back. The ordinary people too are pushing back because they are not getting value for money. That is the thing.
See, there are fundamental issues. And I think I'll address it in two ways. The human angle is there that we need to look at. We also need to look at the business angle. Of course, the government, ought to balance the social aspect of its own job and the service providing aspect. That I agree. But if you look at the history of electricity consumption in Nigeria, right from the time of the European, of course, they were the first to start enjoying power in Nigeria. Electricity lighting, we were lighting them for free. It was the European neighborhood that we were lighting. Now, a time came when everybody was enjoying this power. And as soon as it was increased, when tariff was increased, the first tariff increase, what happened then was agitation. As soon as the people agitated, then there was default in payment. And the power company went to court. They won the case. You know what the government did? They bought over the entire debt. And that is the beginning. So government started subsidizing subsequently, gradually. And that brought the power sector to its knees, so much that in 2013, when it was eventually privatized, of course, Labour also kicked that time. It was 2014 that they were able to take over. Now, 5-6 years down the line, I think it was the second time of the last government when the research was done. It was clearly shown that after the privatization, about 6 years after, number one, they had I think they have lost about 85% of revenue. Number two, only 23% of the cost of production were being realized. Number three, operational efficiency has reduced. As long as the government will have its hands feeding them for free, you will have this. Let's even see who are the people enjoying this subsidy. I like us to do this mathematics on the table. You and I will stay in the city. Maybe in your house, you have like 5 ACs or 4 ACs, minimum. Now, if you ought to pay 1,000 naira, take for example per AC, the government subsidizes for you and you pay maybe 300 naira. So, at the end of the day, the government is paying 700 times 5 for you, 3,500 naira. I'm not counting the bulbs now. So maybe the government ends up paying
you support subsidy in that sector.
I'm coming, let me finish.
That's not where it's going.
So the government ends up paying for you, maybe in a week or in a day, 5,000 naira. So you can leave your AC on all through the day, whether you are home or not. You leave your fridges on. But the woman in the village, the family in the village, guess what? Maybe they have just one bulb, one tiny bulb, or 2 or 3 to put on. So at the end of the day, what the government is paying for her subsidy, for that family's subsidy, is not even up to 100 naira in a month. So who is enjoying that subsidy? It is the rich, those who live in the urban areas.
The bandit people.
I agree that this
So everyone who lives in the urban area is
I'm
a rich
coming,
person.
please. No, of course I'm coming. Now, but if you look at the ratio, when the government spends, we were to spend like maybe 1.3 trillion or so to pay again for full subsidy. If you look at that amount, the rich will take maybe 70-80% of that. But unfortunately, there is no way you will take it off that it will not affect both the poor and the rich. And for me, we should be holistic. See, there are some areas where you take holistic decisions. Governance at some point is not tea and bread. When you get to some critical junction in governance, you take critical decisions that will be for the benefit of all. Nigeria must stop subsidizing consumption. I keep maintaining that, and I won't stop maintaining that. If subsidizing electricity for these band A people is what they are fighting for, I would not support it. And they have said, okay, we are not increasing for the band DCB. It is only for band A. I don't think that is wrong. Good economic sense. If that will where would they have the money to invest in order to produce and give us this access we are talking about? So if there's no money to invest there's no way service can improve. I'm a private sector person. If something is not working, I look at the problems. I do analysis. I identify the issues. If I need to invest and I don't have the money, and I know that if I borrow, what you are paying me cannot pay back the money, what should I do? For example, if they got to borrow today, they cannot realize in terms of income the amount they have gone to borrow. They can pay. So would they want to invest in the area? The answer is no. So for me, here is the truth. Subsidy for the rich should be stopped as soon as we can. So if they have stopped it by increasing I fall into, I don't want to say band A, good. I'm not having that power supply, but I can only pay for what you supply me. That's the truth. So the fact is that if you increase tariff for band A members who are enjoying these things, I don't think it is wrong.
Jide, do you agree? Because we said that in the next 10 years, we need a minimum of $15 billion every other year. Constant investment to turn around that sector.
You think with this increase in tariff, we'll be able to find that money?
We may not be able to do it wholly. But at least close the gap.
See,
15 billion.
You are not. You see, let me tell you, if we are in a very bad state in terms of electricity, we are in a very bad place. Let's tell ourselves the truth.
It's not something you can fix in a day.
This thing came at a time when electricity generation and distribution and even transmission was like at an all-time low. I don't think that we have been able to even generate 4,000 megawatts on a consistent basis. Yeah. I challenge anybody to prove that I'm lying. Just 4,000.
Capacity to wheel it.
I'm not saying 5,000. No. There was a time that we were able to wheel about 5,700 and something megawatts. Significantly.
See.
But now, we are not close to that.
See,
and that's when you are brought the tariff. People, no matter all the English that we speak, if people